Hey guys, Grumpy here with a very exciting episode of By the Rules. So, a lot happens in this episode, so stay tuned. We go into expanding our fleet as well as changing our battle strategy to what it looks like to fight with an anchor in the fleet. We go over contacts and then the missions they provide, as well as how to outfit your ships when the weapons available to you aren't the ones that you want or need. Hope you guys enjoy. All right, let's get into the episode. We received notice that there is Pather activity on Chico stock. So what we're gonna do is head over to Chico, go to the bar, and we're gonna look for a mission that involves a Pather or an interaction that involves a Pather. We're gonna go ahead and accept this, and for 10,000 credits, they'll reveal the location of the Pather base. So we'll agree to their terms, and we get notified with a little bit of intel. Now, when we go back to the intel screen, we can go ahead and see that that Pather base is located right next door in Tia and Taxet. Now, we don't have the fleet available to destroy that base, but that'll be the next step as we grow. We want to secure what I like to call station busters. So that is a different kind of fleet. So we'll redesign and then we'll come back to that. And these would be our station busters. So really good ships that are phenomenal against battle stations are going to be your Dominators, your Onslaughts, even a Mora is good. These are typically ships that you would imagine as like anchors. They're able to hold the line. They have a lot of armor, or they have really tough shields, and they're hard to crack. So we have enough credits to afford one of these Dominators. Ideally, I would like to bring two to the fight. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to do some bounties on behalf of the Hedge so that we can generate the credits that we need in order to purchase both of these Dominators. Now, in order to find ships like these, ships of higher quality, you need to check that Hegemony military tab, and you need to grind the reputation with them. Ways you can check to see if a system has that military tag is on the map screen. If you look, it says Quaddle, Hegemony, and then in brackets military. That means that this planet, this colony, is specialized in producing higher quality weapons and has that military tab to trade. Same thing for here, Nachiketa, and then Sphinx down there, as well as Jangala. So there are a couple of stations that we can check for those better weapons and better ships. Alright, let's pick out some bounties and then set sail. One of the ways that we're going to do that actually is talk to our contact here on Quaddle. So if we go over to the intel screen and we go to contacts, we can talk to them. You need to develop them first. So this button would say develop, so you press that. And then what I like to do, because I know I'll interact with them very often, is I'll upgrade them to a priority contact. I'm not sure why this isn't the default. You might as well just make them a priority contact, because what it'll do is it'll allow them to offer you better missions. So first of all, you'll get a better variety of missions. So instead of just getting the one, I just did it, so it didn't update. But instead of getting just the one mission, I believe you'll get 3. And then of those missions, you'll get more rewards, more credits in order to do them. Now, they will be a little more difficult. So for bounty missions, the bounties will be a little larger. But it's good because on the other hand, you're going to get paid out a lot more. So talking to our contact here, let's see if they have a challenging target. For 120,000 credits, they want us to take on this fleet. I think we can do it, especially if we purchase a one of the Dominators. This isn't too bad. Let's see what the other targets are. For 72,000 credits, that's a lot better. So this is a very easy fight, almost soloable, realistically. And then I usually don't take the smallest one. Yeah, because it's not, the credit payout is usually never worth it, but you might as well check it anyway. So of the three, I think we're gonna take the largest mission, and we're gonna purchase a Dominator, fix the Dominator up, and then go ahead and take care of that bounty. So we'll take the more challenging target. Confirm. Cut the comm link. Let's go over here. Purchase that Dominator. Now, so we're full. So this is fine as is. We'll leave this. We will go ahead and pilot it. I feel comfortable piloting our flagship. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and see which officer would be best to pilot our hammer. They're all pretty much built the same at this point, so we'll just grab Kemby. And we'll take them out of the Drover. The Drover is fine as is. It'll be able to pilot itself, so we don't need an officer in there. So no further rearranging needed at this time. The last thing we need to do is get rid of this crew under strength modifier, and that's because the Dominator has a very large crew requirement. So we'll just purchase some from here. Alright, let's go ahead and jump in. Okay. So on the bounty screen, it'll show you the larger ships in that fleet, and then there'll be a little bit of text that says may contain additional ships. So here are the largest ones. If you look at a fleet like this, and then the included in the larger ships are is a frigate, then you know the rest of the remaining ships are frigates. So even though this fleet does look large, the bulk of it is frigates. Between the Enforcer and and the Hammerhead, we should be just fine. So we'll let the frigates crash into us, and then we'll go ahead and destroy them. All right, let's go ahead and talk to them. So we will move into engage. Yes, that's no problem. Continue and begin. Now, despite the sizes of our fleets, we still get that small battle screen, so we don't really have to worry about objectives yet. I'm guessing by the time we get to the next episode, then that's when we'll start doing the larger scale combat. Now, as far as our fleet goes, what we want to do is we want to grab the Centurion and just give it to the Drover. We want to grab the Lasher, the Hammer, and the Enforcer. So we'll go ahead and hold down the control key and press 3 to make them one group. We'll make you guys group 2. We want to tell group 3 to go ahead and follow me. Even though these ships are powerful, because there are so many frigates on the battlefield, we don't want them to get surrounded and picked off. So by giving them the escort command, they're going to generally stay near me. Now, if I want to make absolutely sure that they never left my side, then we can upgrade this to a defend order, which is going to basically tell them, hey, no matter what, do not leave me, right? Don't go more than like 2 tiles away. So I don't think that's quite necessary. I think just giving them the freedom and flexibility to move away, destroy a frigate, come back is just going to be fine. And then the final thing we'll do, the Centurion is escorting the Drover. Just so the Drover doesn't get left behind, we're going to go ahead and tell it to follow me as well. So this is a chain. The Centurion is not escorting me. The Centurion is escorting the Drover. So let's see how this goes. All right. Now, just starting off combat, I'm kind of making a little mistake. There's not really a reason to rush headlong into the enemy. It would be a lot more beneficial if we hung out in our deployment zone, and then let the enemy crash into us. By putting ourselves in the middle here, we're kind of giving them the advantage because they have a numbers advantage against us. They can easily wrap around our entire fleet. So it's really or beneficial to fight in a corner or on the side if you can. So actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and try to pivot over. We're going to kill our burn drive and try to pivot over to one side. I think that would serve us a lot better. That way we don't have to worry necessarily about getting flanked like you're starting to see here. Let's go ahead and drag him to a corner and drag him back. And let's see. Nice. So we get a kite there. We get a kite destroyed there. And that's from using a defend escort order instead of a defend order. I'm just giving that enforcer the flexibility to pick its target. Now it looks like the mule is pushing forward. It does not have safety overrides, so ideally, if it did have safety overrides, we could separate it from the rest of the fleet, especially from the Venture. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case, so we're just going to keep backing up into our corner, and then once we get to a more comfortable position where we're less likely to get flanked, we'll see if the mule is still near us, and then we can go ahead and attack it. This is where officer personalities matter. Can I see what their personality is? No, I don't think so. Maybe you can see. No. This is where officer personalities matter. Also, there's a Merv heading towards us, so we need to put our shield up. Aggressive officers, reckless officers are really nice for the opponent because they'll separate themselves out from the rest of the fleet, and usually they're piloting like cruisers or maybe destroyers, so you can really weaken an enemy fleet very quickly if you can snipe off those ships as they arrive. All right, looks like we might have an opportunity here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the enforcer and the hammer. Actually, I'm gonna grab the enforcer and the drover and tell them to attack the mule and see if we can get rid of it. If we can get rid of the mule, then we could probably get rid of the Venture, and then I can sneak the hammerhead up and around and just have it get rid of these Colossus, which I might start doing. But we need to be careful about diverting our forces so quickly because, you know, it's just the 6 of us. So we'll save that for a little later. All right, let's go ahead and put our shield up. Okay. So the battlefield changed, right? The mule is no longer being aggressive towards us, so we can go ahead and back off. We're still going to want to point our Mark 9 at it so we can keep its flux high, and then hopefully some of these Atropos land. Nope. That doesn't look like it. Oh, but we do get the overload. We can't follow it up, unfortunately. And then we also have another set of Merv heading towards us, so let's make sure we shield up. And then we block that. We may have an opportunity here to get rid of the Shrike. Doesn't look like it. Also, I've never seen that before. The Merv rerouted like halfway through, which is kind of interesting. This Venture is semi-isolated, so what we're gonna do is we're absolutely gonna jump on this. Let's go ahead and grab the Enforcer to help us out here. We're gonna push forward, and we're just gonna see if we can blitz the Venture down. Let's see. This is a little risky, but I think it's worth it. If we can crack the Venture, then we can go ahead and probably get rid of the Shrike, and then we can send the Hammer up to destroy these Colossus, and then we can turn to the right and start dealing with these frigates on the side. Alright, let's see. We're going to go ahead and press the R key to focus on the Venture, and then let's start laying into it. We are on our Sabopods. Looks like they can reach out, so we're going to go ahead and pre-fire some Sabos. And then we're going to sit on the Harpoon key Because once this thing overloads, we want to basically hit it with everything that we have so we can get rid of it as quickly as possible. What's the range of our flat cannons? Not that good. We're gonna have to close the distance here, so let's go ahead and just commit. We're gonna hit burn drive and just really get in there. Alright. Very messy here. We just want to make sure that we shield up. Just watch our flux. Alright, little dangerous here. What we're gonna do is actually we're not gonna do anything. We're not gonna change course. We committed to the venture. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of the venture. Alright, that's a little tough. Rough losing the enforcer like that. Alright, unfortunately we're gonna have to go ahead and vent. So we got way too aggressive there. Fortunately we weren't able to get rid of any ship. So now we're just on the back foot. What we're doing right now is we're cycling through whatever the closest ship is and just seeing if we can get rid of that. So right now it happens to be the strike. Ugh. Unfortunately we can't get the strike. Okay. Alright, we do get to connect on the strike. We're gonna go ahead and target it and follow up with some harpoons. Hopefully those harpoons land. We're gonna see if we can't just tank until the MERV arrives. So now that the MERV arrived, I was gonna say we can now drop our shields, but now we have harpoons coming. So what we need to do is raise our shields, so we don't gain flux from. Oh no, you have a heavy mortar on your front. Okay. So you can actually just go ahead and attack that, and let's make that engage order. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and shield up, just so that we don't get hit with the harpoons. Once we get to a comfortable position, we'll go ahead and dump our flux. We do have a lot of armor to play with, so it's gonna be okay. Once we dump our flux, then we'll go ahead and see if we can turn towards the mule, and hopefully our hammer is gonna be able to start damaging it. All right, so let's go ahead and unpause. Make sure we have a shield up for those harpoons. We're gonna go ahead and dump flux. Alright, shield up. Okay. Couldn't get our shield up in time for that second MERV, but that's okay. Okay. I have no idea why our hammer's over there, but I'm glad it got secured a kill. Let's see if we can get rid of this Colossus. Doesn't look like we're gonna be able to. So the enemy is doing a really effective job of cycling. Oh, you know what? Fantastic. If you're back there, you might as well be useful. So let's see if you can't get rid of these Colossus. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send the Centurion over here to go ahead and deal with the Cerberus. So we still have the Drover following us, so we do have fighter support, so we're still good. It looks like the AI is just going to choose to cycle, which is fine. I mean, that's going to be okay. Hopefully the Centurion can get over here fast enough to deal with the Cerberus. Alright. I would really like to get rid of that wolf if possible. May not be an option. So I don't know how many more Merv shots there are, but eventually we do need to dump this Flux. Our front armor is taking a lot of damage, and I would like to shield. I'm gonna go ahead and just Flux. Yep, dump Flux. Yeah. We're able to block most of it. That's fine. Nice. Let's go ahead and swing the hammer over here. Let's just make sure we keep our shields up when appropriate. Alright. Okay. We're spending a lot of story points doing this, but command points doing this, but it's very important that we manage this successfully. So right now, this Cerberus should be retreating off the battlefield. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pivot my Centurion over to pick up the Wolf, and then that way my hammer still has the ability to go ahead and push forward into this Colossus. As the tide of battle shifts, eventually we'll go ahead and be able to claim victory, even though we don't destroy all the ships on the battlefield. Alright. What I would really like to do, nice, yes, is get rid of that Mud Skipper. The Mud Skipper has a Mark 9 on it. While not damaging, does put a lot of pressure on our shields. Let's go ahead and wait for that to clear off. Now that it's off the battlefield, we don't have so much to worry about. So this is mostly all high explosive, just coming from the heavy mortar. I don't see any missiles on here besides the salamanders, so we should be okay. We will turn to go ahead and start facing the mule, but that's not what our intention is. Ooh. Nice. That's not going to be what our attention is, because the mule's a relatively tanky ship, so we don't want to waste too much time with that. Instead, what we want to do is just go ahead and have the hammer finish cleaning off the wolf. So it will take 2 of these ships, unfortunately, to deal with that. But the less frigates on the battlefield, the better. The Drover and I will just stay occupied with the mule down here. And then once we get an opportunity, we'll go ahead and clear off the last Colossus. And then it should just be the Venture left. We can go ahead and cancel that order. We'll keep an eye on you to see what you do, because it looks like you are trying to jump back in, but hopefully you're not. Alright, let's go ahead and turn towards the mule. Nice. And we are able to just fend the mule off. We do have a range advantage against most of these ships. So we are doing pretty well in that regard. Right. Okay. They're going to continue to chase that down, which is fine. Wolf is down. Fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and issue an eliminate command on the last Colossus. Now, normally you don't want to use an eliminate command so close when there's still like a lot of ships on the battlefield. However, we're sorting this from a flanking maneuver, so if the Venture decides to turn and support the Colossus to prevent our ships from engaging, then that's just going to open up the Venture to us. So once our ships get in range, then we'll go ahead and join that engagement there. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and make sure that we keep the opponent's flux up. Do a missile check. Okay, we're out of missiles. It's always good to know what your status is. Alright. So it looks like the ships are shuffling around. So instead, what we're going to do is go ahead and change this to the target now. And we want them to focus over here. We can even do something like this, where we have this Centurion. No, we'll just do that. We'll just have both of them engage the Mule. Mule's flux is pretty high, so by the time the hammer arrives, should be able to put pressure on that. And then I'm gonna have the Drover. I'm gonna have the Drover actually engage that eliminate order as well. But no, no. We'll just have the Drover continue to follow us, and then we'll see if we can drive a wedge between the Mule and the Venture, or even bait it towards us. That works as well. And I'm pretty sure it's out of Mervs. It does have a few harpoons left in reserve. So let's just drop our shield and see what it does. Nice. So they get rid of the Mule for us. Next should be the Colossus. So let's just go ahead and keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on our armor as well. Yep. Nice. And that's what I'm talking about. So the Venture looked at an opportunity to destroy the Hammerhead, exposed its flank to us. We were able to easily clean that up. And all that's left is the Colossus here. And we should also have the option to claim victory, which we do. Alright, let's go ahead and secure our victory here. Nice. So there we go. Not the cleanest engagement, however, we do get it done. We fumbled a little early, losing our Enforcer and then our Lasher. However, we were able to stabilize by just getting a lot of ships off the battlefield. Most of these retreated fairly early on. We could pursue them, and we will. Yes, we will pursue them. But we won't do the engagement ourselves. We'll just let our second in command handle it. We'll just go ahead and do something like this, like that. Nice. And then let's go ahead and consider ship recovery. So we get our Enforcer and our Lasher back. It's going to cost us a ton of supplies, as well as we don't really have the crew for that. But we'll manage. So let's go ahead and recover. And we don't get the Merv off of the Venture, but we still do well enough. Cool. And then just like that, we go ahead and get our bounty paid out in a second. There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and limp our way back to AS Exodus. And I'll see you on the other side. Just wanted to toss this in here. We were fighting a bounty in this area. We were successful. Let me show the map. In Venera, there is a debris field here with a lot of recoverable ships. Very good ships. I won't spoil what exactly they are, but the seed is in the description, so if you want to copy it and head up here to go investigate, then I would strongly recommend it. Alright, and back to the game. And we end today's episode by picking up our second Dominator. There is a Dominator 14 available, however, we don't have the reputation to grab it. I would much rather have this, but currently it eludes us. Let's go ahead and buy our Dominator. I'll dress it up in between episodes, But the next thing that we're going to go ahead and gear up for is going to be destroying our nearby Pather base. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We covered picking our bounty, developing a contact for the bounty, growing our fleet to prepare for station busting, and then also how to fight with an anchor. So hope you guys enjoyed that episode. Other than that, Grumpy out.